Well, hello there, everyone. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It is so great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. It is Saturday, and if you guys are wondering, yes, we have a brand new master topic just for you guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. Whether this is your first time or you're coming back many times, really grateful for you to watch the show. Every Saturday, we kick off with a brand new master topic and we go from Saturday to Friday. If you have not had a chance to check out believemeachieve.com, what are you waiting for? Go check that out after the show. It's available 24 hours a day. You can get short form content, long form content, and you can even get my articles. So it's a really great place to check those things out. If you're thirsty, feel free to go get some RO or some water from your kitchen. I love my RO water. It's filtered 7 times, really delicious. And maybe you want a snack or a fruit cup or a piece of fruit, whatever it is, go help yourself to that and come on back to the show. All right. So let's get this show started. All right. So welcome everyone to Inspirations for Your Life with me, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, and podcast coach. I am very passionate about guiding you to unlock your true potential, elevate your leadership, and embrace a more meaningful, sustainable way of living. So, tonight, I'm diving into a life changing truth. Accepting human limits isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Let's explore this together, all right? You can't do it all. All right. And today's master topic, in case you didn't catch it for the week, is the mindset shifts that change everything. Series 4, show 37, episode number 1. You can't do it all. All right. That's number 1. No matter how ambitious, talented, or disciplined you are, you simply cannot carry everything. Trying to do it all, well, is the fastest path to frustration. Sometimes you need to do some things, right? So you can get some help. It's also the quickest way to burnout. True success comes not from juggling every ball in the air, but knowing which balls to keep juggling and which ones matter and which ones you should give off to someone else to keep the circle juggle. So, number 2, rest is part of progress. Rest is part of progress. Did you know that, guys? Yes, it is. Rest is part of progress. All right. So now that we know that, in our productivity driven world, rest is often dismissed, but real growth requires, well, recovery. Athletes train hard, but they also rest hard. The same applies to life and even business. Every pause you take gives your mind and body the chance to recharge and come back even stronger, guys. Number 3, limits protect. They're not here to punish us. So boundaries exist for a reason, just like guardrails on a mountain road. Limits keep us safe. Did you know that? Yes, they keep us safe. They keep us focused. And of course, guys, they keep us on track. They aren't punishments, they're protections, keeping us from veering off into chaos, like taking our car off the road, right? Number 4, burnout does not equal success. Burnout does not equal success. Burnout does not equal success. Too often, we confuse exhaustion with achievement. But here's the secret. Pushing yourself to the breaking point isn't a badge of honor. It's a warning sign. True success should energize you, not deplete you. Number 5, guys, saying no is power. Every yes is also a no to something else. By learning to say no with confidence, you reclaim your time, energy, and focus. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I have a neighbor, and this neighbor, let's say maybe 7, 8 years ago, up until that point, he was always asking me for things. So he knows I do podcasts and stuff. And it didn't matter. He would always ask me, like, if you're doing something, well, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm getting ready to do a show. Oh, so you're really not busy. Like, no respect for my time. But he's an older person. So I said, okay. I said, I'll help him. I went down to help him next door and did what I need to do to help him. And it never is 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It turns out, like, if I go down there at, let's say it's 8 o'clock, I'm there till like 10 or 11. And that's really not fair. So I started realizing this, and his way of paying me back was not with money. His way of paying me back was to give me a sandwich or to take me out to lunch. I don't need lunch. I don't need a sandwich. If I give you a bill, I need to get paid. And so I realized that this person was taking advantage of me. I also realized that his family was taking advantage of me, right? They needed things done at times. And you know what? I was always there to get these things done for him. Every single time I was there to get these things done. And, the thing is, I also oftentimes got criticized because, they'd make fun, all these things. But I was the one helping. I was the one making sure that their stuff always got fixed. So I said, I'm not going to say yes anymore to him. I'm going to say no. And I'm going to say yes to myself. I mean, a lot of times we're raised to be good people and we want to help others. Nothing wrong with that. But there's a point when you keep giving and giving and giving, and it depletes you. It basically drains your cup. If your cup is not full, how can you help yourself? If you can't help yourself, how can you even help somebody else? I mean, I don't think people realize that. They get selfish, right? And to give an example, one time he had a razor. And being an engineer, he figured he would utilize me to fix the razor. So the razor had a bad battery. Okay, so he goes and gets a new battery. And this is one of those razors that you can't really change the battery on. And most razors you can't. So he decides that he's going to get a battery, but the battery is soldered in. So I have a commercial wireless soldering iron. Doesn't need electric. It just gets charged and then you can use it. And I was spending so much time trying to desolder this and then resolder it. I'm like, you just buy a new shaver for an extra 50 or 60 bucks or $100. Like, it makes sense. He had this for like 100 years. So I realized that he was just doing things to be for himself. And now to this day, our hellos and goodbyes are just that. They're not very long. In fact, they're not even a full hello. They're more like ignoring me because he knows that he has been unfair to me. And again, I'm cordial, but I'm never going to help him again or his family. One time I did work for his family and gave him a discount and all that. And then I had to wait. Not that day did I get paid. Not the next week. The lady, when we called her after I think it was 45 or 60 days, she told me to go back to my neighbor because he would take care of it. And I was like, I didn't sign up for this. So that's when I realized I was getting, ladies and gentlemen, I was getting abused. I mean, left and right. So that's what you have to realize. Don't say yes to everybody because when you do, it's going to burn you. All right. You may not notice it right away. Like I didn't notice it right away, but it does drain your energy. All right. Number 6, your body sets boundaries. Ignore your body's signals long enough, and guess what? It will force you to stop, and you're not going to like the way it makes you stop. From fatigue to stress to illness, your body has its own way of setting limits. Listen early, and you won't have to face the harder lessons later. Number 7. Slowing down speeds you up. That's a pretty cool one, right? So counterintuitive, right? But when you take time to pause, to reflect, to reset, you actually move forward with more clarity and energy. I know that sounds hard, but it's the truth, guys. It is the truth. So slowing down helps you avoid mistakes and gain momentum where it counts. Number 8, limits reveal priorities. When you can't do everything, you learn what really matters. Limits cut through the noise and reveal what deserves your time, your attention, and your energy most, that is. Number 9, sleep. A lot of you I know put sleep as something that's not a high priority. It is a high priority. Sleep is non-negotiable. We live in a culture that glorifies all-nighters and hustle, but you don't realize the toll that it's taking on your body. Again, but sleep isn't optional, and I want you to know that. It is foundational for your success. Every hour of lost sleep chips away at your focus, your creativity, and your health. That's right. Like oxygen, because it is. And so when we start to realize that we need X hours of sleep, some people need 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever it is. And if you miss like an hour or one day you're off, it's not a big deal. Your body adjusts. Okay. But if you do this every day, it's like you have this energy crisis and you can't get up. And you're going to find that your natural clock, right? Your natural human clock will wake you up at the right time. I have my alarm set just to be safe, but I always get up about 10 or 15 minutes before the alarm goes off, and I usually have plenty of energy. Number 10, guys, control less, live more. The need to control everything is exhausting, and it's impossible. When you choose to release the illusion of control, that's what it is, you open space for peace, for creativity, and for things to flow. Life isn't about micromanaging. It's about living. So let's start doing that. Number 11, perfection is impossible. Chasing perfection is like chasing the horizon. You'll never catch it. Instead, embrace progress. Progress builds confidence, while perfection builds paralysis. So you do something not to get perfect at it, but to get better at it. Number 12, rest does not equal weakness. I talked about sleep. Now I'm talking about rest. You need to make sure you rest. Rest doesn't mean you're weak. We all need to rest. Taking a break doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. Rest is strength disguised as stillness. I'll give you an example. So, studying for my last class, which I got a 98.3 an A in, I took some rests. I went back and I studied, but I took some rests. And that recharged me so I could retain the information that I was studying after that a lot easier. Number 13, guys, focus beats the force. I'm thinking about the force, the Darth Vader and stuff, but focus beats force. You can grind endlessly, or you can choose to channel your energy with precision, right? If you were aiming a water gun, if you ever go to the boardwalk and you aim that water gun at the clown's mouth and you have to hold the water gun in the clown's mouth. If you don't get it exactly in the center of the mouth, what happens? You don't get as much water into the clown's reservoir to get the balloon to pop. So precision is everything. Focus, guys, turns effort into results. Focusing that water gun always got me to win. Force just drains you. People think that force is a necessary part of life. It doesn't have to be a necessary part of life. People make it a necessary part of life, but it doesn't need to be. Number 14, energy is finite. Spend wisely. Think of your energy as, currency. Every decision, every interaction, every task is let's say a withdrawal, a certain kind of bank account. Spend it where it matters most and stop wasting on things that don't move your life forward. Like my neighbor, right? I was spending my hard-earned time wasting it, not even appreciated for it. And when I stopped doing that, I realized that I can't just stop it here. I need to stop at other places. People want me to volunteer. I need to be mindful of what I volunteer for. I'm not saying I don't want to volunteer, but I've got to be mindful. Oh, I'm sure you can help us. Sure, you want to help. I know you can help us. Don't let people put words in your mouth. It happens too often. This can happen in the religious world. I know going to a Roman Catholic grammar school, high school, in the grammar school, we had the Sisters of St. Joseph. And they were always very good, not just the Sisters of St. Joseph, but a lot of sisters. They were always very good at guilting, like, oh, I don't know, sister, I'm a little busy. Oh, okay. Well, your judgment time will be remembered when you see God. And they always put this in your mind. Well, it's okay. You don't have to. I'm sure God will look favorably on you, even though you didn't help us today. And then what do? You help her, right? So you can't allow that to preclude your own sanity. Number 15, guys, progress needs pauses. Any good invention, any good drawing, any good piece that I write, you can't just write the whole thing in one sitting. You've got to take a break, go away, come back. I do that several times. And it's like I get a whole different wind about what I'm writing, maybe things I didn't see before. So progress needs pauses. Like music, guys, life's rhythm requires pauses, right? We know there's different types of beats for those of you that study music. I'm a pianist. I love playing piano. So you have music like 4/4 time. You have the F clef in the bottom. You have the G clef, right, for the right hand, and the F clef for the left hand. And so the pauses, we have those little rest symbols, right, to rest. We know that when a dotted half note, which is the half note with the little hole in it, the dot, it gets 3 beats, right? A regular note, solid note, gets 1 beat. A half note gets 2 beats, okay? The note with the line through gets 4 beats, right? So it's important to understand that without a pause, without rhythm, music would just be nothing. So everything in our life has a rhythm, has a flow. Relationships have a rhythm and a flow. Our money has a rhythm and a flow. Some people will disagree with me on that, but I'm not going to get into that in this show. Everything in life is a rhythm, okay? And when you can tune into that frequency of that rhythm and understand it, you'll find that things come into your life a lot easier. So, guys, without these rhythms in the music, it's just noise. Pause gives meaning to motion, gives meaning to music, right? Reflection and action, and clarity to chaos. People get so overwhelmed by looking at something. Like maybe you're cleaning out, I don't know, your closet. Like, oh, I can't do this, right? So what do? You start off with the top shelf, or maybe the bottom. Maybe you start with the bottom shelf. You take everything out and you go through it. Or maybe you take everything out of the closet and you just go back one by one, whatever you want to do. Some people, like if they clean a drawer, they'll do one drawer at a time because they know that everything in that drawer is for that purpose, right? Pretty important to understand. But sometimes people look at that whole, oh, I can't clean my desk. There's like 6 drawers, or I can't clean my closet. There's like 6 shelves. Okay. So do a shelf a day. It's not going to take you that long. It might take you 20 minutes if it takes you that long. Our perception creates our reality, and that's not true, that perception. But we make it that, so it becomes that. Number 16, guys, you are not a machine. You're not a robot, okay? Even machines need downtime and maintenance. A lot of machines need oil, right? You are far more complex and valuable than any machine or robot. Stop expecting yourself to run endlessly. You're pushing yourself too much. You're designed for balance, right? Do a little work, do a little play, right? Don't do all work. Give yourself enjoyment. Allow yourself to get the rewards out of life. You do a little studying, like with myself, going back to college. When I was in college several many years ago, getting my engineering degree, I have to tell you, I didn't enjoy it as much as I do now. When I went there, well, of course, I was taking a lot more classes, but it just felt like I was going through the motions. I was doing it, but it was a lot. And of course, growing up as an adult back then, it was different. Now that I'm going back to school, I am not just taking my class or classes, I'm getting involved with the social world of college, the different activities they have. And when I was in college as an undergrad, I went to a couple activities, but I didn't do a lot. I was always thinking about studying. But now that I go to these activities, they're like rewards for me. And I'm actually studying better than I did when I was in college. I mean, when we go to college as undergrads, we're just trying to understand life, right? We're trying to figure out how do we fit in. We're trying to figure out, like, what are we supposed to do or what are we supposed to do in this world, right? So it's the first time we're living away from home. Maybe we're having to manage our money. Maybe we're having to manage laundry. Maybe we're having to manage how we do our work because nobody's on us to do homework, right? When you're in college, I don't know about you, but when I was in grammar school, even in high school, I was like, "Did you do your homework?" I'm like, "Yes, I did it." So, I was getting that habit developed in me early, and I didn't like it in the beginning, but I realized that by getting that habit and going to college, it taught me that I want to get my work done. So I'm very happy to my parents for instilling that into me early. Number 17, guys, limits create balance. So without boundaries, everything just spills into everything else. Work, family, health. Limits allow balance to exist, or what I like to say, coexist with everything else. They make room for the joy, the connection, and fulfillment of life. If you're just doing life, right? You go into your job, you're coming home, but you're not enjoying life. You're missing something. You're robbing yourself of the joy of life. And if you really don't like your job, you shouldn't be doing it. If your job is not making you happy, don't do it. That's the wrong profession for you. Number 18, healing takes time. Whether we're talking about physical, emotional, or mental healing, it doesn't happen overnight, folks. Rushing the process only prolongs it and frustrates us. Time and patience are the true medicine. Number 19, guys, sustainable beats extreme. Quick fixes and extremes rarely last. The real power is in building habits you can sustain, the kind of practices that become part of who you are, not just what you do. I remember being in college as an undergrad. I remember, getting up early on a Saturday morning because I really didn't go to parties. I would get up early on a Saturday morning and I'd go over to the gym. And the reason I go over to the gym is because there was no place to get any orange juice. And I wanted orange juice when I got up in the morning. I wanted to study. I wanted to have orange juice. Nothing was open till like 11. I'm like, oh. And I'm up early, like 6 or 7. So the gym opens at 6 in the morning. So I go over there and I go to the machine. I get juice out of the machine. Later on, I get a fridge and, I have my own juice. But little practices like that, taking a walk around campus, enjoying the beauty of life. Today, I took a hike, which I do every weekend, 4-hour hike. And amazing hike, had a great time. At the end, got caught in a downpour, but still had a great time. I know coming home, actually didn't come right home. I went to church after that. And I was still kind of soaked. I sat in the car with a towel. I came home, I was half soaked and came home, changed, just put a towel around me, made dinner. And tonight I made some homemade noodles with some great sauce. Then I took a hot shower. And I really enjoyed that whole battle. People say, well, gee, you're nuts to go on a hike. No, I love the hike. The hike actually gave my body nourishment. You're like, are you crazy? No, I felt good after the hike. And the more I do the hike, I feel less tired. That was really cool, guys. Number 20, peace, pressure. In the end, guys, peace always outweighs pressure. A calm, centered life allows for deeper fulfillment more than any amount of hustle ever will. Even though you might think it won't. And if you're following people or modeling people and they're doing that, well, you're probably going to find out that they're going to burn out and you're going to burn out right after them. So realize that you need to balance things in your life. Exercise, education, if you like education, time to eat, snack, right? Time to meditate. These are all important things. But so many of us are caught up with well, if I stop, I'm going to be behind. Trust me, you have time to stop and rest. If you do stop and rest, you'll actually be further ahead of those people. How many of you remember those people on the highway, right? They have the road rage and, you let them pass you and they pass you and then strange things happen. You happen to be ahead of them. You're not even trying to get ahead of them, but later on, because of some lane they get into, you're ahead of them. You didn't want to get ahead of them, but somehow you did. Then those people get aggravated at you, which just becomes ridiculous. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, and these are the principles that I live by. And it's my privilege and honor tonight to share them with you here on Inspirations for Your Life podcast. Together, let's build a life rooted in balance, meaning, and sustainable success. I know a lot of you are saying, I can't do this. You don't know what my life's like. All I want to tell you is give this a try. You'll be so surprised at how much time you have in your life and how much better your life becomes by choosing to adapt these as a daily practice in your life. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening or day, and I'll catch you guys real soon. Be well, everyone.